Is it the trampoline? Is this where the stitches happened?
This is the fish in a can.
Hey, you okay?
Woo, we are back. My name is Kristen. I am an educator and parent myself. We use Supernanny on this channel as a jumping off point to discuss different challenges with toddlers all the way through teenagers and beyond. So grab yourself a beverage and let's dive in.
Let me see, baby.
Dad did not get a great edit on the first part of this episode that we watched. So if you haven't seen part 1 of this, go ahead and check it out if you want to. So I'm happy to be saying something positive about Dad because the way that he just picked her up and he said nothing at all and he's holding her close and he's breathing with her and he's checking her calmly. Absolute perfection. It is easy for us to get very, very anxious when we see our children get hurt. And so I just think it's great for us to note how calm he is right now. But this is what he's trained to do. Duh, Kristen.
Guys, did any of you not see it? So what actually happened?
She ran to jump on the couch.
Yes.
And she, I think, just ended up falling and hitting on that.
Can I see your gorgeous face, please?
I hate seeing kids get hurt.
If there's an accident, you really want to stay as composed as possible and calm. Because if your child's scared already, looking at you scared might make them feel even worse.
Just like Joe Frost said, children look to us as caregivers for how they should feel. So when a child is, let's say, learning how to walk and they tumble and they fall, a lot of parents will clap and they try to encourage their kid because they don't want their child to think every time you fall, it's this big dramatic event. We just have to be careful that we're not dismissing them, even if because they might really be hurt or they might be scared. So what I say to my children, to my students is, are you scared, hurt, or both? All of those things are valid. It's okay to cry because that was scary. It's okay to cry, obviously, if you're hurt. We certainly don't want to make a huge deal of things. Ooh, little funny story I just thought of. I'm going to tell you that. But we don't want our kids to get to a place where they are creating things just for attention, which brings me to a story about my son. My son, he just turned 6. Happy birthday to my son. He just turned 6 yesterday. So it'll be, when you guys see this, it'll be 2 days ago. On the 16th, he turned 6. And he loves mommy's attention. And he knows that when he gets hurt, mommy gives him so many snuggles. And I started to see this pattern. So in order to break this pattern, what I've done is I now say to him, oh, it looks like you got hurt. Now, do you want mommy's attention and you want me to give you comfort, or are you truly hurt? So you look at your child who's like, ow, I broke my leg. Instead of saying, you didn't break your leg, you're fine, which is, tempting to say sometimes, especially when we're busy as parents. Instead, I look at him and I go, ooh, you look like you got hurt. Now, do you want mommy's attention? Do you want extra comfort? Or are you really hurt? I just need to know, because if you're truly hurt, I need to apply ice and I need to perhaps take you to the doctor. But if you just want mommy's cuddles and attention, you could just tell me. And that has helped some, is having that little relationship where they can be honest. So if you notice that your child is making things up or exaggerating situations, maybe tummy aches or headaches, or, they keep bumping into things, it could just be a cry for attention. And addressing that with your child allows them a space to be honest.
Little Blakely. Poor baby. I can't wait to see her. Oh, Ben. Hey, babe. How many stitches did she have to get? Lily, I am in the middle of talking to your dad right now about your sister who is hurt. I love you. Bye.
I don't know exactly what's going on right now, but my guess is that big sis is having trouble with other sis getting lots of attention. I hope that Joe Frost addresses this with mom on making sure that she doesn't discipline the older child harshly. We can have a feeling, but we act on it in a certain way. It's learning how to react to our feelings and then teaching her things that she can do. When I don't know, just off the top of my head, maybe there's a special, if you have many children, there's a special little box that when your child wants to say something to you and you're busy in that moment, they can write it down and then put it in the mommy box. And then later on during the day, when there is a moment, you can take out the things from the mommy box and be able to talk to them each and have their moment then. Have something that they can do in that moment that will help them work through those emotions and self-soothe until you're able to get to them. That's an awesome skill.
Extremely rude of you, especially when I'm talking to your dad about something very serious, for you to come up and interrupt me.
Come with me for a minute. I think Maria, because of her postpartum depression, she just gets angry about something and then doesn't think afterwards. And I want her to start thinking before she talks.
So wise. I want her to start thinking before she talks. Sometimes I pretend like I'm talking to another adult. Would I talk to another adult that way? Certainly not. I wouldn't look at another adult and say, you are being rude, and I wouldn't have addressed them the same way when I was on the phone. Because children deserve the same level of respect. Now, we still have to do the rules and the consequences and the boundaries, of course. It doesn't mean they get to do whatever they want. But we don't also need to be rude to them. She's being rude to her daughter for being rude to her. It's like in the last episode where dad was whining about the child whining.
Morning, morning. So today what I want to look at is the routine so that we can actually start to run a tight ship.
A lot of people think that schedules like this in a home are overkill. I completely disagree. I think if you have more than one child or even just one child, having a schedule does not mean that you need to follow it to a T. It is something that you use as a reference. You want to eliminate choices where there are no choices. We want to give our kids choices to give them some power where it is appropriate. And when I say choices, I mean 2 choices. I don't mean 5 choices. You don't open up the closet and go, what do you want to wear? You say, do you want to wear these pajamas or these pajamas? Not, do you want to get in your pajamas? That's not a choice. We're getting in our pajamas, and you say it just like that. And that's okay if your child protests. You just redirect and keep it going. We need to get in our pajamas so that we can try to schedule things into the day that they look forward to. So maybe after let's say they're having trouble getting in their pajamas. After they get in their pajamas, have something special that happens then. Maybe it's special reading time, maybe it's special blocks time, maybe it's the time that you guys sing and dance in the room to one song, or you snuggle in bed together. Whatever your child's having trouble with, have something go after that they're looking forward to it, and try to vary it. You don't want it always to be a food, or you don't always want it to be an interaction with just you. You know, sprinkle it in. Variety is the spice of life, so that when they're having trouble, you're like, oh, let's get in our PJs because right after blank. And then their brain is focused on the blank and not on the pajamas anymore, because they are so present. Young children are so present that they don't even see the after. Even older children, let's say your child loathes doing homework. Okay. It happens. Some kids like to do it, some kids don't, but it's something we have to do. So what do you have scheduled right after homework? Let's say they get home from school. And right after school, they do something fun. And then you're taking them away from something fun to then do their homework. How well is that going to work? Come up with your schedule so that there are things to look forward to. It's the same way for you as an adult. After a long day of work, What do you like to do right after? How do you reward yourself? Because we all have to do things we don't like, and that's just a part of life. And teaching our kids that, sometimes I don't want to take a bath either, but it's bath time, and then after we're going to blink.
I want all kids dressed, teeth brushed, and down here by 11:15. Okay, I know you can do it because I know what you deal in an emergency. This is an emergency. Move, come on. By 11:15, 11:15.
A little fun, playful parenting tip is children love, in general, to move fast. So whatever part of the day that they hate the most, you do it so fast that like they can't even think about how much they hate it. So if it's bedtime, you're like, we're gonna set this timer. You get one of those visual timers. I made a video on visual timers. I'll put the card here if you're interested in that, on all the things you could do with a visual timer. But you set the visual timer, you're like, we're gonna beat it.
These are the shoes you're going to wear. Let's go. Come on. Hey.
Right, so
Stand up.
Okay, here we go. This is it. A lot of you are probably saying to me, yeah, Kristen, I try to be playful and my kid still protests. Okay, so the kid did not want to wear these shoes. I'm assuming what it was, the pink shoes. And he said, you're going to wear these shoes and let's go. He did everything from what we see in the easiest manner for a child to be a listener. Excuse me, but she's still protesting. Let's see what happens.
Stand up.
stand up
Stand up.
and just say to her, you can tantrum all you like, but they're the shoes that we're wearing.
We can hold that boundary without being aggressive by being firm. And also, something that I do that I don't think Joe Frost does much or we don't see is I provide empathy. I do, because I'm still holding the boundary. You're still wearing those shoes. And I could say, hey, you really wanted to wear the yellow shoes. You really wanted to wear the yellow shoes. Oh, Daddy's listening to me. He knows I wanted to wear the yellow shoes. Sometimes that regulates them. You didn't want to leave the playground. You wanted to stay I wish we could stay at the playground all day. Sometimes that will calm them down.
We've got to go downstairs and she's having a tantrum, but that's all right. She can have it downstairs when no one will give her the attention. So just pick her up, take her downstairs. Pick her up and take her downstairs and the baby. And then if she wants to carry on feeling upset about it, she can. She can own those feelings.
Dad coming in with 2 kids. Look, take them both downstairs.
She can feel that way. Just don't feed energy into the tantrum. Just ignore her.
All right, we're 8 minutes into the tantrum. It's slowing down a little bit. It's okay. If I need to be the one to tell you, it's okay if your child cries. It's okay if they throw a tantrum. It is not our job as caregivers to make our children happy 100% of the time. Life is uncomfortable. There are times when we're stuck in a meeting and we gotta pee. There are times when we're tired and we have to go to work. There are things that we do that are uncomfortable. We don't get our way all of the time. Raising a child to think that every little thing that makes them uncomfortable or that isn't their preference should be fixed is not good in the long term. It doesn't mean that we make every choice for them. We say it to them, hey, if I could give you the choice, I will. Some days you're going to be able to choose between the yellow and the pink shoes. Today, we're in a rush and it's the pink shoes. We're wearing the pink shoes and we're leaving.
You ready to join us? You ready to join us? You ready to have fun? When you are, come and let us know, Tenley. Tenley's used to getting her own way, but old habits die hard. But if everybody's following my advice and techniques, they should start to feel confident pretty soon. Tenley, would you like...
See how Joe Frost does little check-ins? Hey, we're over there having fun. Let us know when you're ready. Then it's not I'm the bad guy as the caregiver. It's I'm the good guy. I want you to come have fun. Come on. We got your shoes on. What are you doing over here crying? I mean, if you want to cry, you can. If you want to be upset, you can. But it's not going to change the fact that you're wearing those shoes. So, oh, Joe Frost. I love you, Joe Frost.
Blakely and Lily doing some colouring.
That was good.
That was really good.
That's good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that was really good. Well done. That was really good.
Thank you. Just learning new techniques is great. Stress relief for me, because I'm not yelling. There's no need for flying off the handle or anything.
Look at that little smiley. Oop, wrong side. It's hard to get this mirror image thing. Look at that smiley little face. That feels so good. When we release the idea that we have to control our children and we just set boundaries and enforce them and provide empathy of this is hard for you and help them work through it. Oh, yes. And I'm so happy that Joe Frost is doing this with Dad, because he had this huge need of, you saw him when she was having the tantrum about the phone in the last episode, where he was screaming in her face, stop crying, stop whatever. Let her cry. Let her cry. You took the phone away. You made that decision. Now we could talk about ways to avoid the tantrum, which I've made videos about. But once the tantrum's happening, it's okay. It's okay.
And I do have to give it up for the Corry family, because they were committed to learning the new skills, and I really just wish them the best of luck. And I know that this family are committed and willing to succeed and muster forward.
Go Corry family. So happy. Love a heartfelt ending. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, go ahead and hit the like and the subscribe, and I'll see you next time.